ראשית, בשם לשכת המסחר ישראל דרום אפריקה, אני רוצה לברך אתכם ולהודות לכם על זה שהגעתם לאירוע הזה, שהוא קבלת פנים לכבוד חברנו היקר, עורך דין הרצל קץ. אכן, תודה חמה לשותפים שלנו באירוע, תלפד, הפדרציה הציונית של דרום אפריקה, ישראל, ופרופימקס, חבר הלשכה החדש שלנו, והמארח הנדיב שלנו. שלומית שור, אשר פעלה כשותפה בארגון האירוע הזה. איפה שלומית? אוקיי. וגם כן דורון קליין, מנכ"ל תלפד והמשרד שלו בסיועם האדיב שלהם לקראת הערב הזה. דורון תמיד כאן בשבילנו בכל פעם שאנחנו ואני ספציפית צריכים עזרה, ייעוץ, שותפות, ותודה למרצים גם כן שלנו. רואה גם כן הרבה פנים מוכרות. יורם אלדר, מנכ"ל הפדרציה הלשכות הדו-לאומיות בארץ, וגם כן חברים אחרים שלנו מלשכות אחרות שלנו כאן בארץ. תודות גם לסגן ולקפטן שלי, שרגא ברק, סגן יושב ראש הלשכה, ולדניאל וינה, המנכ"ל החדש שלנו, איפה דניאל? ודירקטור פרויקטים שלנו בעבר, גם כן לדנה, דנה היא המתמחה או אינטרן החדשה שלנו מה-IDC, מהבינתחומי, מהאוניברסיטת רייכמן. וגם כן כחלק אינטגרלי של האירוע, משפחת קץ, ולולה כשותפה באירוע הזה. ברוכים הבאים לכולם. Good evening, friends. I say that because it really is good to be amongst friends and colleagues. Where to start? As I said, it was a bit of a wow, and I sat and was thinking, oh, what could I say? And Lola was also very helpful. First, on behalf of the Israel-South Africa Chamber of Commerce, I'd like to welcome you and thank you for coming to the event, which is a reception in honor of our dear friend, Advocate Hertzel Katz. There have been some legendary figures that have inspired others to do great and really wonderful things through setting an example themselves. And Hertzel is one such legend. What comes to mind when I think of Hertzel is his dedication, his service, besides his legal and other skills, leading so many initiatives and volunteering for so many causes for the people of Israel, including South Africans and the South African community, in a quiet and modest way, just like the community itself. What further comes to mind is mission and calling. For what is mission and calling, if not leadership in the service of others? And of course, a major part of this is Hertzel the man, the advocate, the lover of Zion. Already in his youth, and I'm filling in really scant details from his CV and from material that I've scanned, but already in his youth, Hertzel joined Beitar youth movement, rising to become an Atziv Beitar in South Africa. In 1950 to 1969, he was a member of the executive of the Zionist Federation in Johannesburg, South Africa. 1968, delegate to the World Zionist Congress when Golda Meir called on leaders to make Aliyah. In 1969, he moved from the country of his birth, South Africa, not forgetting the town of his birth, Benoni, to the country of his destiny, and I would say conviction, where he began his new life with his young family. The state of Israel, for me, and I think that's what it is a life experience of the Jewish people. It's the laboratory for observation and an inquiry into the interplay between spirit and matter. Hertzel has brought so much to this country in his unstinting awareness of and dedication to the other. In his leadership as executive director of TELF and chairman of TELFED for a good number of years, he initiated and assisted with many innovative projects of historic, social, and financial significance. The development of Beit Protea, Moshav Manof, Kochav Yair, improved conditions of Olim. He also spearheaded other initiatives, including a self-help trust fund to assist South Africans in Israel who were in financial distress. He researched and documented stories about the successes and achievements of South Africans in Israel, including the stories of the volunteers from South Africa who participated in the War of Independence. There are many initiatives earlier on, later on, and many of those whose living out of the spirit deserve mention, such as in commemoration of Isaac Ochberg. Hertzel took to the level this project, the Isaac Ochberg Creative Writing Project in high school. In so doing, he greatly strengthened the bonds between the school and community. Other such work done with Holocaust survivors in Israel, where Hertzel underwent training and volunteered to visit a survivor on a weekly basis not so long ago. He won countless awards in setting an example in promoting causes and establishing the means by which others are able to benefit materially and spiritually. Before I get on to the work that he's done with the chamber, I think it would be fitting to call Robbie Hilkowitz, who's the chairman of Telfed, to come and say a few words. Please, Robbie.
Thank you, Marcel, and thank you for hosting. It's my privilege to bring greetings to Hertzel and to everyone this evening from on behalf of Telfed. I started thinking about what to say about Hertzel. I was kind of thought of a lesson that we learned from the story of Hanukkah, right? It's not too late to talk about Hanukkah. I noticed in the shop today already I saw some Humantaschen, so Purim's around the corner, but I think we can still take something we learned from Hanukkah, because there's one particular lesson that it's a bit of a secret about Hanukkah, and it's a secret that we don't like to tell children, okay? So now I've got everyone's attention. What's the secret? And the secret is this, that from a technical, halachic point of view, there was no need for pure olive oil to light the menorah. When the Maccabim rededicated the temple, and they took over and they came to light the menorah for the first time, the fact is, from a halachic point of view, they could have used any oil, any olive oil. They didn't have to have pure olive oil with a hechsher, and that's the whole story. That's the whole miracle of Hanukkah, that they found this little pure bottle of olive oil and they lit it, and it lasted 8 days. So what were they thinking? Why did they do that? Why did they go to the trouble, and why do we commemorate to this day? What was so great about pure olive oil when any oil would have done? And one of the answers is that what they were thinking was that regular olive oil is okay if you want to light the menorah on a random Tuesday afternoon at 4:30. But to inaugurate, to initiate, to found, to start something, to start a process from the beginning, for that you need pure olive oil. For that you need something extra special. And that reminded me of Hertzel, because, we are very privileged. The current leadership team of Telfed, we've inherited a phenomenal organization with great processes, procedures, staff, programs, and fantastic asset base. But we've inherited it. Our job is a regular Tuesday afternoon. We just got to make sure we don't stuff it up, right? And we can hand it on to the next generation in decent shape. But Hertzel founded it. He started it. He was the initiator of a lot of the programs in the organization. He was not only chairman, but he started the first Klita committee. He founded the regional committee structure that we have in the organization today. He was the first chairman of the board of governors. He was the founder of the magazine, and he was the founder of Keren Telfed. Now, Keren Telfed is the cornerstone of what drives the organization. It's the cornerstone of how we run programs in the organization and what funds Telfed. So he was a founder, he was a starter, he was an initiator, and that is very special. But that is very different to just carrying things on an idle Tuesday afternoon. Hertzel, in my early career, many years ago, I was privileged to spend quite a lot of time working with and learning from a particular generation of South African businessmen. And what I found in them, and I learned a lot in terms of, they weren't just great businessmen, they were also great gentlemen. They had a style, it was not just entrepreneurship, but it was with grace. They were very firm, but they were very fair. They were very concerned with their fellow man. They were very concerned about people around them and about their staff and the good they were doing in the world. They also had a great sense of humor. There was a lot of good stories, usually with a good glass of whiskey at 6 o'clock in the evening after some work. And I think Hertzel really embodies that generation. And I think he brought that culture, that businessman but gentleman, fairness, kindness, concern for your fellow human being with him to Israel when he made Aliyah from Benoni.
Thank you.
And that is something we can all, and we should all, take with us and learn in terms of how to compose ourselves and how to take the organisation forward. And we're very, very grateful for that. One other thing that Hertzel founded, we have something in Telfed called the Special Urgent Relief Fund. A lot of people know Telfed as an organisation that looks after Olim and Klita, but as much of an Klita organisation, we're also a social welfare organisation. And we help people literally putting food on the table. And one of the needs that Hertzel identified and founded was this SURF, the Special Urgent Relief Fund, for situations where we need to act very quickly, we need to deploy funds, we need to help people quickly. And I'm very honoured this evening to announce that in Hertzel's honour we are now changing the name of the fund to the Hertzel Katz Urgent Relief Fund. We think it's the very least we can do, and I think it's a fitting recognition of the many, many thousands of lives of South African Olim through the generations that Hertzel has helped and helped them to make Israel their home. So thank you very much for hosting this evening, and thank you for all that you've done for us.